Ever heard of the blue zones? Blue zones, there are 5 blue zones in the world. Blue zones are basically areas that have figured it out. They figured out the key to longevity in life. They understand it, right? And Okinawa, Japan is one of those blue zones. And what I learned when visiting Okinawa is, one, you cannot judge a book by its cover. And I've learned what simplicity can look like. Hi, I'm Eb from Eb's Migrations. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. I share my passion for storytelling and my experiences living within the world and experiencing different cultures and customs and communities to hopefully inspire you to go see something different, experience something different, try something different, and to do whatever it is that makes you happy. Whatever your happy is, I want you to go out and explore and do that. And I hope that my journey inspires you to do so. The reason I say you can't judge a book by its cover is because in Okinawa, prior to going to Japan, and Okinawa is not the mainland Japan, right? It's a separate area, separate island, and they identify as Okinawans, not Japanese. They are Okinawans. And do your own research just to see why that is, right? Now, what would make me go to Okinawa, Japan? And prior to going, I had no idea that it was a blue zone. I did hear stories of Japan just having people who live the longest in the world, right? People who will live to your triple digits. And that's pretty consistent amongst the blue zone areas in the world. These are people who, like I said, they figured out the key to longevity. And some of those keys are community, being a part of something that is outside of yourself, engaging with others, like if you're having a glass of wine with someone else, sharing a meal with someone else, talking to someone else. So having that community helps with longevity. And of course, how you eat, where you are, and Okinawa is just the place to be free and relax and enjoy. It's surrounded by water. And normally people who live by water just have a different energy to them. Okinawa specifically has like this airy vibe. So it's this special little place. So Naha is the capital of Okinawa. That's where I stayed. Okinawa is known as the Hawaii of Japan. So I'm like, okay. Once I arrived, I took a train from the airport. Public transportation is very accessible. You can do a bus or a train, or you can take a taxi. But the train was right there at the airport, and it led me to maybe 5 or 10 minutes from where my hostel that I was staying at. All right, so the hostel I stayed, this was my first time staying at a hostel that was like those cubicles. Right, you see, it's like your own little bedroom compartment. If you deal with claustrophobia, this is not for you. But if you want like a new funky experience, it was nice. And it's also nice to be in Japan. You have your sliding doors, like it's that traditional culture experience. So that's where I stayed. And the volunteers that I encountered there, one was from Taiwan, from Taipei, and that actually was my next stop after Japan, so no coincidence there. She gave me a map and just highlighted different areas to go to and that were accessible for walking. And anytime I'm in a new place, I like to walk, especially if like it's safe enough to walk. I like to walk, and I'm pretty good with a map, so that's how I got around. Prior to going, one of my colleagues when I was working in South Korea had lived in Japan for 5 years, so she was fluent in Japanese, and I had her teach me like my basic Korean words that I would use, like hello, thank you. Thank you is very important. I like to be polite. And like here, there, you'd be surprised what here and there can do for you when you're traveling alone, because kore, which is there, came in handy. So she equipped me. I had my 5 words. I was ready. So my first stop on my journey, I believe I went to Shiro Castle. In this particular area, I've learned later after visiting from someone from Okinawa that it burns down quite often. And to know that this area, this castle, would burn down and the way that it was restored was just out of this world. You can spend hours here. You can do a guided tour. I always just do my own thing. I like to beat on my own drum. I like to pace myself. I like to get lost. I'm so curious. I wouldn't stay with a group anyway if I signed up for a group. I always have questions and I like to diverge, so I do my own thing. You can purchase like headphones and do your own tour, or you can do a group to learn about the different dynasties that were there and just the history and the culture. I was only there from like a Thursday to a Monday, so just an extended weekend. My highlights were taking a ferry over to the closest island. Magic, like pure magic. Tokashiki Island, and I could be saying that wrong. Tokashiki Island is where I went to, just because I didn't have enough time. And there's a ferry station that it's pretty easy to buy the ticket. Just say the island, there'll be a price, and you take the ferry. I think the ferry was about a half hour. And that's when I met the person who was from the States, and we both had surprisingly lost our fathers around the same time, and he was kind of on a journey as well after losing his dad. So we had that in common, and we were talking. And then there was this one particular time during a conversation where I stopped talking to him because I noticed that the noise on the boat had just gone down dramatically. Like it was just quiet, like you can hear a pin drop. And then when I looked up, I realized, oh, that's why it's just blue. Like we just hit this patch of blue water, like a blue that I've never seen before. And everyone's phone was up. No one was speaking, everyone was just recording and taking pictures, and it was blue. And that island was beautiful. It reminded me of like beaches in Bermuda. Man, those islands, there are little buses, little vans and little buses that will take you to the beach. And the second one was the food. Man, oh man, it was the best fish I've ever had. I'm walking down the street one night and I see this cute little spot, and they had a sign that said local fish only. I guess a lot of tourists come in and maybe ask for like salmon or some fish from wherever they're from, and this place says local fish only, so don't even ask. Right? So when I went in, I just asked for the fish, right? And there's this old man cooking right in front of you, right? Large wok, and it was amazing. I think he seasoned it like literally with just garlic and oil. I don't know what seasoning went on it, but that's what I mentioned about this simple life, right? It was just simple and light and delicious. I tore that up, and I love to eat with chopsticks. I actually miss chopsticks. I grew accustomed to eating with chopsticks. Like through my travels, my preferred way of eating is my hands. Oh, I love to get like just messy with my hands. I like to feel the food and explore it and experience it. And then chopsticks are fun too. Purple sweet potatoes are a thing. Like purple sweet potato ice cream in Okinawa is very popular, these purple sweet potatoes. So think about your 7-Elevens, right? Or your convenience stores. And you know how they'll have that food where they have this like those rotating grill things, and you'll see your hot dogs rotating. This is kind of what they do with the sweet potatoes. So everywhere you go, you'll find this purple sweet potato, and they're like less than $1, maybe it's $1. So I would just buy one of those and snack on them. But that was very popular out there. It's the purple sweet potatoes. And then pineapples. It's like Okinawa is pineapple paradise. They even have a pineapple theme park where you could go to, but you can get pineapple infused everything. Like I had the pineapple infused beer. You can get pineapple infused sake, even like this snake drink. I didn't try that, but like there was just a lot of pineapple infused things. So if you like pineapple, Okinawa might be your place. And you can go visit the pineapple theme park. You can take a bus right from the middle of town. I think Naha is a great hub because you can get around in different parts. It's not the best part of Okinawa, but it is like the main central location, and that's where the airport is and where you can fly into. So I would suggest to make that your hub spot. Best massage. And prior to that, I would say my best massage was in Thailand, because like I fell asleep during that massage and woke up to my own self snoring. Like I startled myself. But in Okinawa, it's this room. I found this place. It was just downstairs. They had a sign for a massage, and I knew I wanted a massage. That's something that I treat myself to whenever I'm traveling. Like every country I've been to, I've pretty much had a massage in that country. They just do massages better outside of the States, and it's way more affordable. And I like massages. So I had this massage. It was by a man, and again, you go down and it was this room and one floor, open space, and just partitioned by long drapes of like white fabric. That's what partitioned each person. So you just go into this little fabric area, and that's your massage. I think I transported or teleported to another place during that massage, but it was so almost like they have this intuition, right? Just in tune to your body and understanding what it needs and where it needs it. And I just left feeling so zen and so relaxed. It's unlike other massages. I already had experience living in the future, but Japan just took me to like another level. It was my first interaction with AI, right? And then their AI robot in the store had a little bias towards it. You can tell it didn't come across people with like my particular hue in a long time, because it kept like, it was registering like, who is this? And eventually it asks, can I help you? So that was pretty cool to be in a store and you have little robots instead of humans walking around to help you. And this was back in 2019 when I first went to Okinawa. The reason I say you can't judge a book by its cover is because I met a Rasta, a Japanese Rasta, right? Like prior to going, I just had this one idea of like, this is what Japanese people would fit into this box. And no, I was beautifully surprised when I strolled down the street and saw this store that was just playing like classic reggae music. It had incense burning, all your divinity tools inside. And then there was this Japanese man with locks, and his locks was in this high top knot. And he was wearing boho chic clothing, like just very, very chill with Irie vibes. And it made me question, where in the world was I? Like, this cannot be Japan, but it was. Go visit a blue zone. Again, there are 5 in the world. Go check them out. Go see what it looks like to live, number 1, for Japan in the future, and what it looks like to be around people who go past, they live well into the triple digits, right? I would highly suggest booking yourself a trip to a neighboring island. You decide which one you want to go visit, and there's a ferry in Naha to get you to the different islands. Make sure you have time. 2, food. You must eat the fish. Go to any restaurant, try the fish, get a massage. Best massage ever, and just walk around and enjoy. Add Okinawa to your list of places. Japan in itself, I'm sure, regardless of where you go, will be a vibe, but Okinawa was a vibe. Like, I can't wait to go back to Okinawa. And from Okinawa, I went to Taiwan, and I'll make a separate video about my experience in Taiwan. Love and light. Later.